the pump is complete and ready to be installed on the 361. Well, welcome back, everyone. Man, it's hot again in the prairies, and straw season is busy. But we're going to get this pump put back on this block, and it does have an O-ring right around this shaft that sets down in there. So just a little bit of assembly lube here, not a whole lot, but we just want to make sure that we're not going to push that O-ring down into that dry hole, causing it to roll off or even to pinch or anything like that. We got our gasket, of course. And this oil filter points out the front of the engine. So we just, there she goes. Just drops down in there. We have 4 bolts. We'll just line those all up. And we're going to torque this down to 30 foot-pounds. That is that. That is looking pretty darn good, if I do say so. Matches up perfectly with the engine. It is the exact same, different run of paint, but the exact same paint used on everything else. And it's hard. When this stuff dries, it's hard. Now, I am using the high heat engine enamel on these bolts as well too. So all I've done is I've polished the bolts down, give them a little roughing with sandpaper, just a hair, just to give them a surface a touch to. And if you're careful with these, get them down, snug down by finger, and you put your socket on and ease into it till it grabs tight, and then run your wrench to torque it. It doesn't even chip the paint. It'll leave this little dark line, but it's not even a chip. It just kind of flattens it out a little bit, and it works really well, and it just kind of adds a nice little touch. Now I've taken the front timing cover, I've gone over that, cleaned it up, and I threw just a little bit of high heat chrome paint on there. Actually, it's called aluminum, but it does get a bit of shine to it. I did look at buying the kit that had this in chrome, but literally the harmonic balancer covers it up this much, and then the water pump covers it up that much, so really all you're seeing is 2 little spots on the side and maybe a little bit of the bottom. So I figured, why waste the money on a chrome cover that's completely covered up anyway? We'll just paint it aluminum. It'll look good down in there. So the next thing I'm moving into is the harmonic balancer. It's time to get this thing cleaned up fully and ready to go. And with the balancer, I'll also be working on the big double pulley that goes onto this as well, and also clean up the nut too. So this one here, all I'm doing, I wired it off a bit. I'm going to go through it a little bit more just to make sure there's no cracks in the metal. And I've gone around and I've checked out the rubber seal here. And this balancer is actually off the second engine. My original balancer off this engine had large cracks in the rubber all the way around it. The other one that I took off was much dirtier, which is this one. So it cleaned up a bit, getting the gunk off it. But the rubber itself is in really good shape all the way around. And then, of course, there's a little bit of a groove here where the seal sits, but nothing too serious. So hopefully that won't leak and it'll seal up good. And we'll get her cleaned up and the pulley cleaned up and put a little lipstick on that stuff too. So there wasn't much going on with that harmonic balancer. It's cleaned up pretty easy. But I just thought I'd throw it on there. Give it a little shot of black manifold paint. But I think it looks pretty good. This cover and the harmonic balancer and the bolts are just finger tight. Just thought, as I work on things and get them cleaned up, rather than banging around on the bench, taking up space, thought I'd start piecing it together. Well, a couple days have passed, and things have definitely come along and changed. So after I completed the harmonic balancer and the timing cover there, I kind of just jumped into the other items here. I went through the water pump, the pulleys, the fan. I got everything going. The neck, we end up getting valley pan in, which was good. I've been looking for that for a while. But I lost a handful of videos, 4 or 5. I don't know what happened. If you do follow me on TikTok as well, I kind of have the breakdown of the pump, how it come apart, what I did to it, how I cleaned it. But it is in the short version, so it's, iPhone style. And yeah, I lost all my footage in the widescreen mode. Oh, back to a bare block again. That was just a quick little view of what it's kind of looked like when it's finished. And mostly just a test fit to make sure I'm not missing anything. Got everything laid out on the table. I do got a fuel pump that you didn't notice that was on there. Kind of snuck that in. But everything else is ready to go. Everything is ready to go on this engine, finally. Now, for the big news. Ho, ho, ho. Happier than a 5-year-old at a Polly Pocket convention. Just like Christmas. Got myself some pistons. Iggy, down in California. They are here. Had these made up for me, custom ground. Even got the production date on it. But this is what I've been waiting for so long. Got a set of rings. They went with Hastings. I just needed something that they would match. So we'll take a quick look here to open this up and see what we got. So first thing, we open the box. We got our, I don't know what it's called, certification sheet or explanation sheet. Tells you how they measure the pistons and how you should measure the pistons, which I already went through before I ordered them, had them made. And they give you a little breakdown of what they did, the size they are, their taper, and also their clearance. 0.0025, that's a tight clearance. So hopefully they did their job well, which I'm sure they did. Hopefully my machinist did his job perfectly well, which I have no doubt. I haven't seen any bad reviews on him. And when I measured them, everything seemed to be within spec. So these pistons, they should just almost seem like they're touching. They should just slide right in there, slicker than anything. And also, got a couple stickers, kind of cool. Wish they're a little bigger, but that's kind of awesome. Stick those on my toolbox, for sure. Hoo-wee, is that ever pretty? Look at that. Even got my oil relief in there, cut right through the piston. Just helps that oil somewhere to go. Dumps right back in under the piston there. And of course my indicator as well. Part number stamp and my 60 thou over. Look at that shine. Of course wrist pins are included. But that is just something beautiful. Man, that's a beautiful sight. Just beauty. Let's get it a little bit better look now. Man, it's got a nice finish on it. But yeah, there we go. Oop, wrong way. There's our pistons. 60 thou over from factory. So factory bore was 4.125. And now we are at 4.185 with a taper. A 0.001 of a taper from top to bottom, which will make those things work real well. Good compression. But anyway, this is just a short video. Just had to kind of throw this in here. I was pretty excited about these coming in. Straw season is unbelievable busy. So it is all weekend and every night. Definitely one delivery and one pickup is what I try to schedule. And that just, that gives me till dark and it's just time to call it a day. But anyway, new exciting content coming. Not just looking at the same block all the time. Next up, weigh these pistons. We are going to weight these pistons too. Match them all up. Get them nice and balanced the best we can. And then it's getting real close. The old tickle trunk drawer here. Woo! Time to start putting stuff together. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. We'll catch you guys again later.